What's up, Fit fam? This is Jeff from JAC Fitness here for another episode of the Fitcast, the JAC Fitcast. That's what we're calling this show. It's episode 3. We're going to be talking about the beginning pitfalls, people that have issues when they start getting into the fitness game. We're going to talk about that in more detail. But first, let me introduce my co-host. Let's start off with Ashlyn. Ashlyn, how are you this evening?
I'm fantastic. And how are you?
I cannot complain. Chadwick, how are you?
Man, I am good, brother. Look at that arm. It barely fits in the camera. Look at that joint.
Let me just pray that everyone that is listening to this is not visually seeing this, so I'll have to delete the YouTube video. We don't need people vomiting while watching our podcast.
Listen, you don't want to look at that like directly. It's sort of like the sun. You kind of look and then look away. You know what I mean? You kind of, what I'm saying?
Wow.
Somebody labeled that.
That's what they all say. Exactly. That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Just wow.
So we have a lot to get through. We have a lot to talk about. But before we get into the beginner issues and the mistakes that a lot of beginners make in the gym, Chad is going to talk about a new product, new rollout that we're doing with the business. Go ahead, Chad. Take the floor.
I'm excited to tell you about this. This is crazy, man. This is our brand new JAC Fitness complete guide to meal prep. So, that's the buzzword now. It's meal prep. It's prep this and prep that. But what exactly is it? Well, in this guide, we're going to tell you exactly how to get yourself organized from the bottom up to make sure that you're eating the way you're supposed to each and every day without fail, because we know that's what's important, is you have to get a system. And in this guide, we're going to give you a system done for you, no problem. We're going to teach you how to organize your kitchen for success. We're going to teach you how to shop. Now we're going to teach you how to actually cut your food. We're going to teach you how to store your food. And we're even going to give you some recipes that are going to help you get started, because every dude should know at least 5 recipes. At least 5 that you can go to, that you can prep on every day and make variations of a theme. So we're going to give you a couple of starter recipes that's going to help you get started and going to help you make you look like $1 million in the kitchen. So the end result is you're going to get a complete system to help you meal prep from beginning to end, and it's going to be yours free. All you have to do is click on the link that in this podcast, and you're going to get it right to your inbox. And on top of that, but wait, there's more, Jeff and Ashlyn. When you download the guide, see, did you like that? You like how I did that?
Yeah.
When you download the guide, you're also going to be put onto our brand new email list, which you're going to get all of our updates whenever we send out a video, whenever we do something really cool. You're going to want to hear about it, and you're going to hear about it in your email, right in your inbox, right? So you're going to want to get this thing, because you're going to want to hear from us every single day. You want to hear from us. You love JAC Fitness, especially Ashlyn.
Yes.
It's a fact.
Boop, boop.
It's a fact. We have metrics. You love her.
It's okay.
And the biggest thing about this guide is that it is completely free. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's our gift to you, and it's simple. You download the guide. That's it. Enjoy it. We want you to succeed. And if you listen to our past 2 podcasts, you know that we talked at length about the importance of nutrition and how it is the foundation for you reaching your fitness goals. So, Chad, thank you for telling us all about that. Make sure you check out the link in the description of this video, or if you're on Facebook, above this video, and that's how you're going to find it. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So let's get right to business. Let's talk about beginners. We've all been beginners at some point in our lives. We all have started. We all have our own beginning story in terms of fitness. And we've talked a little bit about that in the very first episode. But the one thing is that we all make mistakes early in our fitness, in the fitness game. We'll put it that way. So, Ashlyn, I'm going to ask you first. If you think about your own personal story, what would be one huge mistake that you made that you maybe now look back and say, I wish I would have done this differently, or I wish I wouldn't have done this altogether?
Doing everything at once. I felt like I needed to change everything all at once. And I did do that, but it was very exhausting. So it was doing the 2 workouts a day, changing all of my diet, getting rid of everything that I thought was a hindrance to losing weight. And I just got rid of it. And I don't tell any of my clients to do that now. I tell them to take 2 weeks and just start walking and drinking water. Just change those two things in those 2 weeks. And it's successful, and they don't feel like it's all at once, that they can then add or take away something later.
And so your goal,
the low-hanging fruit theory, low-hanging fruit.
Absolutely. What about you, Chad? What was maybe something that you made or done, or a mistake that you made that you wish you wouldn't have done early on in your fitness game career?
Does he have any?
Trying to. Well, I mean, I haven't always been this awesome. There was a point. There was a week or two where I wasn't awesome. There was a week or two. Now, one of the main things is pick a plan and work it for more than a week. Most folks, they bounce from program to program to program to program, and they wonder why they don't really make much progress. So it's pick a plan, no matter whose plan it is. Maybe one of our plans, might be another coach's plans, but pick a plan and work that plan for at least 6 weeks, like without fail. Don't change a thing. Work it as it is for 6 weeks, and then and that's how you're going to get progress. Anything less than 6 weeks, I find it's not going to be effective.
And that's a common mistake, I feel. And for me, if I were to go back, when I first started lifting weights, I was so dumb. Reading like men's health articles, and you're just doing curls and push-ups. You're working all the show muscles, which I'm not upset about, but at the same time, I was not really training my full body. I definitely wasn't doing leg day very often.
No, you weren't. And I don't know how you stood on those things.
I don't know. And so, also, I guess I learned that, Muscle and Fitness and all those magazines that you can go to the grocery store and you get off the shelf, those workouts in there are just ridiculous. That's basically like overtraining one-on-one. But I was so engulfed in that mindset that I tried them, and I was trying to learn as much as I could. And so I'm like, well, this must be good because it's Muscle and Fitness, and what's Muscle and Fitness? Exactly. Yes. Increase your bench by 200 pounds in a week. Like, that's not possible. So, but you fall for those gimmicks. And so that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today. So we all shared our own story. Now, Chad, I'll ask you this question first. You've trained for a long time. You've trained a lot of different types of people, everything from the older to the young to the athlete to the injury specific, trainee. What would be some of the beginner mistakes that you've seen the most in the gym? I guess it doesn't have to be anyone you trained. It could just be, shoot, we used to train at Gold's Gym together, Chad. We saw a lot of people making a lot of mistakes back in the day.
Man. Holy crap.
What would be the one most common mistake that you think that you see?
Well, men, it's people who don't take steroids trying to train like guys who do.
That's a good one.
Like we said about Muscle and Fitness magazine or Flex magazine, they have you doing like 48 sets of chest, on chest days, and you got back day. You got to do all your back day stuff. And the next day you got to do shoulders. Then you got to do abs and calves. Then you got to do quads and back. I'm like, man, if you're on steroids, you can do that kind of volume, and you can do that kind of schedule with no kind of rest in between, man. But if you're a natural guy, like I am, and like I'm not sure what Jeff is, but if you're a natural guy, you know what? You have to get a good amount of rest. And you have to train smart. So like Jeff said, unless you're trying to be a physique competitor, don't train body parts, train your body as a whole machine, because you recover about every 48 to 72 hours. So you got to be hitting it again. If you're not hitting your legs again for another week, you're not going to get any stronger. So basically it's work out appropriately for where you are right now and for what your goals actually are. So that would be the first thing. Secondly is stop depending on other people in your workouts. I can name about 10 so-called workout partners that I've had in my life that never pan out. They never pan out. Like how many people? There was one guy who worked out really well, who was a great training partner, but
Thank you
that was
very much.
all.
I was going to say,
Seriously,
you better not lump me into that because I never missed a freaking workout. All right.
he never did, man. No, he never did. No, this guy was probably the best workout partner I've ever had. Yeah, so I'll give him credit. So, but that's all you're getting from me. But that's it. So don't depend on other people unless you know they match your hustle. And you know that they want it as bad as you do. And I'll say one more. That a big mistake is not having complete workouts, right? So doing all cardio and no strength training, doing all strength training and no cardio. You got to have a balance, right? At my age, I'm 44 years old, and at my age, cardio is super important to me because I've got more years behind me than I've got ahead of me. So I'm trying to prolong as long as I can. So I got to keep the old heart and lungs healthy, and plus I still wrestle, so I got to stay in shape for the ring. It's a lot harder for me, to be honest. At 44 years old, it's a lot harder for me to get in athletic shape than it did 20 years ago. So cardio is super important for me right now, and I found that when I found more balance in my training, I feel so much better. I've got more energy every day. I can eat a little more of the foods that I want to eat. If I want to have some cake, I can have some cake. If I want to, have a couple of drinks, I can do that and not worry about my body fat, shooting up over the weekend. So that's it. Just have balance in the workouts. Don't depend on other people for your training, and train appropriate for where you are with your level of experience and what your goals are.
Can I chime in?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, let's say, go ahead and tell yours. You can have more than one. It can be whatever.
Well, I was just going to say that women tend to feel that they need to do more cardio. I think they get they get confused with weight training as bulking up, and they think that they're always afraid. And I'm like, you're never going to bulk up. So, like, I used to teach a weight training class. I started a weight training class at the Y, and the guys didn't like us in the room, but I didn't care. But those women, like, they were amazed as how their body changed over those 6 weeks by just strength training, and got rid of all the hours of cardio that really, who wants to do? I'm a runner, so for me, I like that, but I also weight train. So I think women just get that wrong idea in their head that weight training is bad, and it's so important for them to do that. And it could just be with bands. It doesn't have to be at the gym with all those weights.
It's just resistance training. Resistance training.
So, Ashlyn, what other beginner missteps do you see commonly, whether it's in a gym atmosphere or someone that you've trained? Is there anything else? No, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Like, it's hard to watch people in a gym who are just doing it all wrong, and it's like, do you walk up and say, "Can I help you with that?" Because for me, form is everything. And a lot of people don't know what they're doing. So, the videos, that we post and everything, like, I know that us three, we really try to make sure that it's the proper form, because that is key. And so I think form is huge for me. Like, I can't stand improper form.
Yeah.
And listen, if you are, I'm going to be real with you right now. If you are a trainer and you're posting videos, and I see you posting videos of your clients doing incorrect form, and you're not fixing them,
correcting them,
I'm going to call you out on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you out on that. I will every time.
You should.
Because you're making everyone look bad,
Right.
So you're putting your clients at risk for injury, and you're not educating the public the proper way. Then they get hurt, and then it's crazy. So, don't do that. There's one particular gym who I won't name, who puts out horrible videos.
Who pointing
puts
to?
out, who I won't name. You know who you are. You watch the video. The videos are awful, and I don't know how they don't have a higher injury rate than they do. But whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I would say that, the funny thing is, when I started training, I think it was about 2005 is when I got my certification. That's when I really started training. That's when I met Chad at Gold's Gym in Hagerstown, Maryland. And boy, has the game changed a lot in just a short amount of time.
Huge. Huge.
There was no social media back then. Facebook was still
MySpace.
it was only on college campuses at that time. It was just starting to become more widespread. It hadn't gone public. And so I think one of the biggest issues that I see, there's two things that stick out. Number one are people that are intimidated. You have those people that will only stay on like the stupid little the machine circuits that they have in gyms. They're so petrified of the weights in the free weight area. And then there's the people that go online and they see these basically fitness influencers who many of them, like Chad mentioned earlier, are using some form of enhancer. We'll put it that way. It might not be an anabolic steroid, but they're using something. And they're trying to match those workouts. And they're so obsessed with things like how much weight can I push and how much can I pull. And it all ties together with what Ashlyn was saying in form. And they're going to hurt themselves and they're not doing themselves any favors.
Right.
And so I guess for me, and one of the things I hate the most probably with social media today, and, I do film myself because, well, I have this business and I try to boost my own personal account. And so obviously I'm trying to educate. I hate the people that are so vain about it, and I hate something so simple. I don't want to go off on a rant. Gym apparel now is the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen in my life. Someone tell me, okay, just because Dwayne The Rock Johnson wears a cutoff hoodie doesn't mean that everyone should go to the gym wearing a cutoff
Everyone
hoodie.
wears cutoff hoodies now. Everyone does now. I know. Everyone does.
You will never see me wearing a cutoff hoodie. So, Chad, don't ever buy a JAC Fitness cutoff hoodies. I swear I'll cut the hood off before I wear it.
Listen, you just hate it because it's Bill Belichick style. That's all.
Oh my God, we're not getting into that conversation. But no, seriously, the thing, let's bring it all the way back full circle here. I mean, there are so many mistakes that beginners make: overtraining, undertraining, not knowing what they do when they get to the gym. We could spend 2 hours talking about beginner mistakes. The one thing you have to understand, and that's something that we all try to do here, both individually and as a collective, is educate yourself. If you're going to lean on social media, find someone that A, knows what they're doing, and B, is educating you. Don't just follow someone because they can bench press 315 pounds 25 times. Unless they're teaching you the proper form on the bench press that's going to help you gain, I say stay away from it. I mean, unless you just enjoy watching it, in which case that's fine. But if you're trying to get ideas, it's a really fine line, and it's tough to gauge sometimes, But if you're going to get a trainer, to piggyback what Chad said, I always say you need to watch that trainer for at least 2 weeks before you even talk to them. Because if you're watching them and they're flapping their gums more than they are moving, why waste your money? Seriously, why waste your money? It's just not worth it. And there's a lot of gyms in our area, and I see a lot of trainers on an everyday basis that I just shake my head. I can't believe anyone hires them. So I don't know, Chad. I mean, if you were to give one piece of advice to a beginner out there, just one piece, like you're like, this is the cornerstone for you that you're going to build on. What is that piece of advice?
Whatever you do, do it consistently, right? So every program works for a while, so it doesn't really matter. And there's no one best program because everyone's different and everyone's going to enjoy what they enjoy. So just pick a program and work it consistently for at least 6 weeks before you change anything.
Okay. What about you, Ashlyn? What's your cornerstone advice?
Well, I probably have to agree with him in that also because I think, people want quick results, and I think that that's foolish because it didn't take you quick to put the weight on, so it's not going to take you quickly to get it off. So I would have to agree with him being consistent. 6, 12 weeks, out, stick with it. And then if something's not working, then switch it up or ask a professional or hire the trainer then.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of be a little counterintuitive to what you guys are saying. And this is something that I'm going to credit Chad to. And that was when I started working out and got serious about weight training. I was very regimented with, Monday is chest, Tuesday is back, Wednesday is arms, Thursday is minimal legs.
very, very minimal.
And when
Calves, calves.
yeah, but the thing is I had convinced myself because I was certified now and I was writing articles for our school newspaper in college about health and fitness and I knew all this stuff. I was convinced that it was my way or the highway. But in reality, it's okay to try new things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when I started training with Chad, he was teaching me all about how you can, we're going to train like push muscles. We're going to do all the total body exercises. And I'm thinking, wait a second, what? It just blew my mind at the time. It's okay to try new things. If you're new to the gym, it's okay to try a group training class. It's okay to go join a boot camp just to try it. It's okay to try new things. Don't get stuck in a singular mindset because so many different people find success in so many different ways. It might be a spinning class for you that you love.
That's true.
It might be a Zumba class. That's not for me, but it might be for you. Everyone has their own niche. Everyone has their own things they enjoy. And it all comes down to goal setting. And that's something we'll talk about in another episode. But beginners they can trip up easily because there's so much misinformation out there. We're trying to help guide you in the right direction, period. So, Ashlyn, that's kind of the end of the episode. Is there anything you want to say to kind of wrap things up?
Well, when you get started, it's going to hurt for a little bit. So just push through that. Like the first 2 weeks are hell, but
especially if you go see her, exactly.
No,
especially if you go to Ashlyn's boot camp. Tons and tons of legs.
So just push through.
Yeah, stick with it. Chad, what about you?
Never miss a Monday, right? The beginning of your week is the most important part of your week. Monday should be the cornerstone, the pace setter of your entire week. Never miss a Monday. That's it. So make that your mantra. Like Monday, I'm going to the gym, come hell or high water. Don't miss a Monday.
To kind of piggyback on what he said, prioritize fitness as a priority in your life. If you want to be serious about getting fit, whether it's I want to lose X amount of body fat percentage and get really lean for the summer, or whether it's I just need to get started, it has to be a priority. Something is going to have to fall behind exercise. You're going to have to sacrifice something. I sacrifice sleep to get up early, to get to the gym at 5:30 in the morning because I can't go to the gym after work. What? What?
Because you have 14 jobs.
I do work a lot. I do have a lot of children. So that's my sacrifice, man. I'll sacrifice sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get up early because I know I've got to prioritize. And so everyone has to sacrifice something. Maybe I'm going to sacrifice watching TV at night because I'm going to go to the gym or I'm going to go do my at-home workout or something like that. You're going to have to make some sacrifices, but it has to be something that you really want to do. You have to make a priority in your life. So there we go. Don't forget, if you're on Facebook here, above this video, you'll see that link that Chad had talked about at the beginning of the episode, the free guide. Do not forget about that. Take advantage of it. You won't regret it. I guarantee you. Otherwise, make sure you check us out. We're hoping, fingers crossed, next week we'll be back with another episode in which we'll talk about Lord knows what, but make sure you check us out then.
Lord knows what.
Ashlyn and Chad, thank you for your time. We will see you next week on another JAC Fitcast.